Hello everyone, welcome to back my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. The bold and the beautiful spoilers and updates reveal Ridge Forrester, Torsten K, has recently taken a significant romantic step, but we can't help but wonder, is Taylor Hayes, Rebecca Budig, broken heart syndrome the true motivation behind Ridge's choice to be with her instead of Brooke Logan? Catherine Kelly Lang. After Brooke presented her case for a reunion, Ridge's reaction didn't exactly paint Taylor as the love of his life. While fans of B and Amp, B have heard plenty about Ridge's commitment to Taylor, being committed doesn't necessarily mean she is his true desire. It almost suggested that Ridge might have welcomed Brooke back if he hadn't already made a commitment to Taylor. Essentially, Ridge seems too entrenched to withdraw now, and there could be a significant reason for that. When Rebecca Budig debuted as the new Taylor, B and Amp, B launched a storyline in which Taylor believed she was facing a heart failure crisis. Ridge felt a deep sense of worry for Taylor when he feared he might lose her for good. Fortunately, further examinations showed that Taylor was actually experiencing broken heart syndrome, which, while serious, was not as dire as he had initially thought. Nevertheless, Ridge couldn't shake the guilt he felt for having played a part in her heartbreak and its impact on her health. He was determined to be there for Taylor as she worked through her recovery, so how could he ever bring her heartache again? It would be utterly unkind for Ridge to betray Taylor's trust after leading her to believe they were destined for a joyful future together. Has Ridge ever truly valued commitment? His impulsive nature has led him to flit from one woman to another without hesitation in the past. Perhaps his hesitation to return to Brooke stems from the desire to protect Taylor's dreams and spare her from heartbreak. After all, Taylor has been making significant progress, and a setback could trigger another health crisis for her. At this juncture, Ridge might not want to put Taylor through that ordeal. While it may be more harmful to give Taylor false hope, it seems that Ridge could be setting the stage for a future return to Brooke. Regardless of the situation, Ridge didn't seem particularly joyful after choosing Taylor over Brooke. It appeared that Ridge believed he was making the right choice, likely driven by a desire to prioritize Taylor's well-being. If his genuine intentions for being with Taylor revolve around shielding her from further health issues, she might come to realize that in time. While Taylor has been envisioning a future with Ridge, the stability of their relationship could be at risk. Recent spoilers suggest that Ridge and Brooke's story may not be finished yet, so keep an eye out for any significant romantic developments. Introduction. In the world of the bold and the beautiful, the lives of its beloved characters are filled with love, loss, and the tumultuous journey of emotions. Among the most iconic couples in the soap opera's history, Ridge Forrester and Taylor Hayes have seen their fair share of heartbreak and passion. As much as their love has weathered storms, there has always been an underlying tension that keeps them from finding permanent peace. Recently, Taylor has been facing a health crisis, one that, surprisingly, might give her the emotional advantage she's been longing for with Ridge. Could Taylor's battle with broken heart syndrome, a condition that mimics the symptoms of a heart attack, be the turning point she needs to secure her place in Ridge's heart once again? Could this emotional turmoil provide the unique edge she needs to win him back? Let's dive into the potential plot twists and emotional roller coasters that could follow Taylor's unexpected journey toward healing, love, and reconciliation. Chapter 1: The beginning of the end. It all started when Taylor Hayes returned to Los Angeles after years of distance, both physical and emotional. She had come back to try and reclaim her life after the pain of losing Ridge to Brooke Logan. Taylor's heart had been shattered, and the bitterness that had brewed for years between the Forrester and Logan families seemed impossible to dissolve. However, despite the years of conflict, Taylor's feelings for Ridge were undeniable. She had loved him deeply in the past, and she had always believed that they were destined to be together. As much as she had tried to move on, she couldn't help but find herself drawn to him once again. The memories of their time together, their family, and the love they had shared lingered in her mind. At first, Ridge had been hesitant. He was already in a complicated relationship with Brooke, and his loyalty to her remained strong, despite their rocky past. But the pull between him and Taylor was undeniable, and their interactions began to grow more intense. It was clear that Ridge was conflicted, torn between the love of his past and the passion he had with Brooke. But just when things were looking hopeful for Taylor, something unexpected happened, something that would change everything. Chapter 2, Taylor's struggle with broken heart syndrome. It began with Taylor feeling a sudden sharp pain in her chest. She had been under extreme stress, torn between her feelings for Ridge and her need to move on. The weight of her emotional turmoil seemed too much to bear. Her heart was literally breaking. Taylor had long been known as a strong and independent woman, but this pain was something that no amount of willpower could overcome. As the pain grew more intense, she was rushed to the hospital, where she was diagnosed with a condition called broken heart syndrome, a real medical condition that mimics a heart attack but is caused by extreme emotional stress or trauma. Broken heart syndrome, or Takotsubo cardiomyopathy, occurs when intense emotions, such as grief, shock, or heartache, cause the heart to temporarily weaken, resulting in chest pain and other symptoms that are similar to a heart attack. Taylor's doctor explained that the condition was brought on by the stress she had been enduring, her unresolved feelings for Ridge, the constant emotional roller coaster of her past, and the overwhelming fear of losing him to Brooke. Taylor was devastated. Not only had her heart been figuratively broken by Ridge's actions, but now her heart was literally being affected by it. It was a wake-up call for Taylor. She needed to take a step back and reassess her life, her health, and most importantly, her relationship with Ridge. Chapter 3, Ridge's confusion and concern. As news of Taylor's condition spread, Ridge was overcome with guilt and concern. He had always cared deeply for Taylor, and seeing her in such distress shook him to his core. He visited her at the hospital, his heart aching for the woman he once loved. "I had no idea it was this bad," Ridge admitted, standing at her bedside, his voice filled with emotion. Taylor smiled weakly, trying to downplay the severity of her condition. "It's just one of those things. I'll be fine." But Ridge could see the truth in her eyes. Taylor wasn't just physically ill, her heart was breaking in ways that went beyond the physical symptoms. She was struggling with the emotional weight of their past, and he was a key part of that pain. "I never meant for you to go through this," Ridge said softly, his tone full of remorse. "I've hurt you, Taylor, and I'm sorry. But I don't know what I'm supposed to do now." Taylor's eyes filled with tears as she gazed at him. "I don't know either, Ridge. But I can't keep living in the past. I need to find a way to heal, to find peace." Ridge's confusion was evident. He didn't know how to move forward, either. His feelings for Taylor had never completely disappeared, but his loyalty to Brooke was still strong. He felt trapped between two women who meant the world to him, each one pulling him in different directions. Chapter 4, Taylor's moment of clarity. As Taylor recovered from the physical symptoms of broken heart syndrome, she found herself reflecting on her life more than ever before. The emotional toll of her past choices weighed heavily on her. Her love for Ridge had always been complicated, filled with passionate highs and painful lows. But now, as she faced the possibility of losing him for good, she realized something crucial: she needed to take control of her own happiness, regardless of whether it was with Ridge or without him. Taylor's journey toward healing became one of self-discovery. She sought counseling to deal with her emotional trauma and worked on strengthening her sense of independence. She was no longer the woman who would settle for second best or allow herself to be torn between two conflicting relationships. But, in the back of her mind, Ridge was never far away. She knew that if they were to ever have a chance at being together, she needed to be strong enough to accept whatever the future held, whether that future involved Ridge or not. Chapter 5, The Unexpected Edge. As time went on, something changed in Taylor. She began to exude a sense of confidence that had been absent for years. Her emotional healing had given her a new perspective on life, one that made her realize her worth and her ability to choose her own path. Ridge noticed the change in her, too. He couldn't help but be drawn to her newfound strength and independence. She was no longer the woman who would simply accept the scraps of his love. She had become someone who knew her value and was no longer afraid to walk away if necessary. This shift in Taylor's attitude gave her an unexpected edge in her relationship with Ridge. For the first time in a long while, she was no longer desperate for his love. Instead, she was focused on her own happiness and well-being. This newfound independence made her more attractive to Ridge than ever before. Ridge began to see Taylor in a different light. Her resilience, her strength, and her determination to move forward without him were qualities that he had always admired but had never fully appreciated until now. He found himself questioning his own feelings for Brooke, realizing that his relationship with Taylor had always been more complex than he had originally thought. Chapter 6: Ridge's decision. As Ridge grappled with his emotions, he realized that he had a difficult decision to make. His heart was torn between the two women he loved, but Taylor's transformation had made him rethink everything. He saw that she was no longer the woman he had left behind, she was someone stronger, more self-assured, and more capable of taking control of her own destiny. Brooke, on the other hand, had always been a source of comfort and familiarity for Ridge. Their connection was undeniable, but the years of ups and downs, the betrayals, and the unresolved issues had left them in a state of perpetual uncertainty. Ridge knew that he couldn't keep living in a state of indecision. It was time for him to make a choice. But the question remained, would he choose the woman who had always been by his side, or would he finally take the chance to rebuild his life with the woman who had once been his true love? Chapter 7: A New Beginning? In the end, Taylor's broken heart syndrome had given her the emotional clarity she needed to move forward. It had been a painful journey, but it had also been a transformative one. She had found her strength, her voice, and her sense of self-worth. And in doing so, she had gained the edge she needed to face her future with Ridge. Whether or not Ridge would choose her was still uncertain, but Taylor no longer needed him to define her happiness. She had found peace within herself, and that was something no one could take away from her. As Ridge finally made his decision, he couldn't deny the powerful connection he still shared with Taylor. Their journey had been filled with heartbreak, but it had also been filled with love, and that was a bond that would never truly fade. Conclusion: in The Bold and the Beautiful, love is never simple, and neither are the characters who experience it. Taylor's broken heart syndrome, a condition that initially seemed like a tragic setback, ultimately became the catalyst for her emotional transformation. Through this difficult challenge, she gained a renewed sense of independence and confidence, which gave her the emotional edge she needed to win back Ridge's heart. But in the world of soap operas, love is never predictable. Taylor may have found her strength, but will Ridge be able to choose her over Brooke? Only time will tell, but one thing is for certain: Taylor's journey has only just begun. Thanks for watching this video, and please subscribe our Bold and Beautiful Update YouTube channel for more update news.